Hi Alliance members, this is Newell Auger with this week's report from Augusta for the week ending January 26th. Not too much happening this week. Molly, Vicky, and I had a meeting scheduled with Troy Jackson, who is the senator from Rustic and the leader of the minority Democrats in the Senate, just to make sure we're keeping the issue of the home-based care reimbursement at the forefront of policy makers' minds and leadership. That was postponed because of the storm, but we're going to do that next week, and we'll report back to you just as soon as we can. Again, the governor is not going to submit a supplemental budget from what we understand, and the Appropriations Committee is going to address some of the larger fiscal issues remaining either on a piecemeal basis or with some kind of a global document. There are certainly folks from the intellectual disabilities community that are looking for a furtherance of their increase. Last year they were kind of in the same boat we were, where they got almost full funding for the current fiscal year but nothing in the second, so they're in the same place we are. And then obviously also in that discussion is the Medicaid expansion piece that the voters approved last year, which obviously the Democrats are very keen on and the Republicans probably not so keen on, absent funding from some other source. One other thing, just to keep a heads up for it, is I'm hearing through the grapevine, through some of the work I do with the Maine Youth Camping Association, that the governor may be proposing legislation that addresses the nonprofit status of nonprofit property tax owners. That is obviously a big concern for youth camps because they tend to own a lot of property. They don't necessarily have a high cash flow. In the past, when the governor has promoted this idea, it's really been focused on the hospitals and some of your larger, more affluent colleges. Whether that is something that the legislature is going to have the stomach for with a lame duck governor, I'm not quite sure, and I'm not even sure necessarily of the particulars of this proposal, but that's what we're hearing. And obviously those of you in the Alliance who are property owners will want to keep an eye out for that, and I'll make sure to forward any information I have to Molly and or to Vicky and Lori, and also by these weekly updates. Again, even if the governor was going down that path, I don't really see it happening, just given that it's an election year and folks are not going to be embracing new ideas as they get ready to run for office. But something to be aware of just the same. And other than that, we'll get back to you after we meet with Troy Jackson next week. And I just wanted to, Ken, Albert, I know if you're watching, you're going to be excited to see that. So I know it was a good day for you on Sunday, as it was for all of us. Have a great week, and we'll see you from Minnesota next Saturday.